This is a day to celebrate. Tom King's 2 year assault on Bruce Wayne, Batman, Alfred, Dick Grayson, Frank Miller, Scott Snyder, Chuck Dixon, Grant Morrison, Jeff Lowe, Paul Dini, Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams, Bruce Timm, Doug Mensch, Greg Capullo, Alan Grant, Peter Tomasi, Andy Kubert, Brian Azzarello, Adam West, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, Tim Burton, Christopher Nolan, basically everyone who's contributed to making Batman the most iconic superhero in the world is over. In my opinion, nobody in history has purposely tried to do more damage to Bob Kane and Bill Finger's seminal creation. Except maybe Dan Didio and Bob Harras for allowing Tom King's run to continue well past its sell-by date. Tom King's years-long obsession with breaking Batman is complete. It's over. No longer will the Dark Knight sit idly by while Joker murders a bride and groom in a church. Bruce Wayne isn't going to be moping around for a few years and let his city fall because his main squeeze leaves him at the altar. There will be no more slapping the piss out of his surrogate children, followed by laughable retconning of Bat family slap codes. I highly doubt new but temporary Batman writer James Tynion is going to have Bruce and Selina banging on a beach in Hawaii while Alfred is murdered in cold blood. Some might say the damage has already been done. Alfred's death is real. Damian's likely permanently traumatized from seeing it. Gotham can never trust the Caped Crusader again after Bane, Thomas Wayne, Gotham Girl, and Batman's entire Rose Gallery took over the city. That no matter what, Bruce will always be the pathetic, emo bitch King portrayed him as. I say, nah. The Batman is a resilient character. Not even 4 years of Tom King's pathetic attempts to destroy the legacy of another great hero can vanquish 80 years of greatness. Nobody will remember King's run in a few years. It will be talked about in very hushed tones. The Batman run, everyone just pretends, never happened. When a new reader asks about the War of Jokes and Riddles, we'll just let them know some stories are just better left untold. The only bad part about this joyous occasion is I had to read Batman 85 for King's run to be over. Guess what? It sucks. It's another in a string of ill-paced, atrocious dialogue-riddled, morose, nonsensical, pretentious piles of shit readers are accustomed to the past 2 years. King even manages to bring America's favorite sport, football, down a peg or two this issue. But it's over, baby. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Tom King's Batman is complete. Thank you, baby Jesus. Let's talk about why it sucks so bad in today's comic book review. We'll tackle the Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne confrontation and then address some of the other bullshit King pulls this issue. I need to point out that this story is once again told non-linear. Readers learn the aftermath of the central confrontation before it even completes in the book. Why does King do this? Not really sure. Does it all tie together in the end for a cool reveal or endpoint? No. He just does it because someone he thinks is a good writer did it once. Probably Alan Moore. We learn almost immediately that Catwoman is not being mind controlled by Psycho Pirate, and she basically beats the shit out of Thomas Wayne single-handedly. The same Flashpoint Batman that dispatched all of the Robins at the same time with ease. She's that good, people. So how is she not an agent of Thomas Wayne like everyone else? Apparently, Batcat had an inside man the entire time. The ventriloquist. I never understood why he would make a good butler. He's just a plot device so Batcat can get the drop on Thomas Wayne. But there's a little problem here. They've had him on the inside the whole time. Why did Alfred need to die? Why did any of this need to happen? Why didn't they just exploit this weakness and take back the city immediately? They basically knew Bane and Flashpoint Batman's plan the entire time. Every time King tries to retroactively explain something, it never makes any sense. You can tell he didn't really think this story out. He's just making stuff up, like usual. As soon as Bruce lays a finger on Thomas Wayne, he's put in a chokehold with a hand cannon pointed at his head. He probably should have let the much more experienced, better fighter Selina finish the old dad off herself. Flashpoint Batman tries to make him give up the bat and marry his sister Selina. That was a nice addition to this Freudian nightmare from issue 84. He refuses. He's gonna marry his sister and be Batman. And, Thomas Wayne lets him up and kinda laughs about how his boy never gives up. Bruce punches him and says, "You're not my father." What an amazing finish to this epic confrontation. Am I right? I'm not kidding. That's actually how it ended. During the out of sequence story, we see Thomas Wayne in a Hannibal Lecter mask being talked to by Batman. And then Bane finds him in Arkham and breaks his back and kills him. So I guess Bane killed a Batman in the end anyway. Yay! It's a good thing Bane wasn't shot in the forehead, or he might have died rather than suffered a concussion. The lack of consequences in City of Bane are really stupid. Bruce gets his jugular sliced on a remote mountaintop and lives. Bane gets shot point blank in the face and just gets a headache. Bruce got shot in the abdomen and never missed a beat. I know I'm supposed to be suspending belief here, but I'm not brain dead. No matter what you think, Tom King. After Thomas Wayne is defeated by realizing his son is a Wayne and will never give up, Bruce and his sister prance around on the rooftops of Gotham until they decide to get married by Judge Wolfman, who I assume is a nod to a far superior writer, Marv Wolfman, when he leaves the bar later that morning. But they end up knocking boots for too long and forget to tie the knot. Brother and sister decide their love is so pure and real, they don't need to be married to prove it. Another low-key middle finger to readers and retailers who invested time and money into the wedding disaster, or as I call it, the awakening. Ever since Batman 50, King and his sycophants haven't been able to hide or excuse his mediocre writing abilities. Little did they or we know, King's pen would further deteriorate until he started serving up platters of drivel like Heroes in Crisis, and his entire Batman run since the 12 Angry Men story that actually wasn't that terrible. The best thing that can happen now is Ava DuVernay's New Gods movie is a monumental hit, and Tom King becomes a hot commodity in Hollywood. Dear Lord, please compel people to see that terrible movie and deliver comic readers from King once and for all. Gotham Girl, fresh off aiding Thomas Wayne in his attempt to destroy Bruce and hold Gotham hostage with Bane, runs around Gotham with Batman. The two haven't really talked much during the 85-issue run, despite Gotham Girl being the only new character or idea of consequence King introduces during his entire run. It doesn't matter. Gotham Girl is a female, so she has all sorts of powers. She can finish Bruce's sentences and knows he's hiding just how much he loves his sister Selina. It's terrible, trust me, but this page is even worse. Bruce gives the known villain and psychopath platinum kryptonite. All she has to do is touch it, and she will have all her powers without taking Bane's super venom and poisoning herself anymore. Essentially removing her only weakness and most interesting character trait. Now, as far as I can tell, she's about 50 times more powerful than Superman already. Guess Gotham doesn't need Batman or any of its other heroes anymore, assuming she doesn't go cray-cray and kill them all, which, if she does, they can't stop her. She's invulnerable now. She's more powerful than Superman, but not even green kryptonite can affect her. Good job, Tom King. You made Bruce choose his sister and Batman to defeat Thomas Wayne, then immediately gave another metahuman in Gotham unlimited power, making Batman's role in the city completely pointless. Well done, sir. You really thought that one out, didn't you? The worst part of this comic is King is so busy having Bruce settle his relationships with his far more powerful and superior female counterparts and father, Alfred's death is basically an afterthought. Nobody seems to care. Bruce visits his grave and bitches about having to make his own tea and cucumber sandwiches and tells him the Robins send their love, but they couldn't even bother going there with him. And then King somehow manages to make football pretentious. Bruce meets Chuck Brown, aka Kite Man, randomly in a bar. The Knights are down to their second string QB, and Kite doesn't think they've got a chance. Their backup never wins. Bruce is adamant that there's always hope. Get it? Never give up. 5 wasted pages in the epic, oversized finale. If you compress this comic down to the only meaningful pages, it probably would have been about 5 or 6 in total. Most of it is fluff, filler, gibberish, all the crap King's Batman has become best known for the past couple years. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best issue of King's Batman run. The pacing sucked, the dialogue is terrible, the construction makes no sense, and there isn't a memorable or impactful payoff to his 85-issue run. Except one. This is it. Batman readers don't have to deal with his pretentious garbage anymore. Tom King should never, ever receive the keys to an ongoing comic in the future. And that's not just DC. That's any publisher. He shouldn't be allowed to write an ongoing Squirrel Girl or Archie series. He dropped the ball so hard with Batman, it's unforgivable to most readers. Actually, he shouldn't be allowed to write anything in continuity. He should only be writing Elseworld miniseries moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.